it all gets down to bits and bytes. So the fun thing about this particular conversation is at the end of it, you're going to be able to go to a cocktail party and you're going to be able to appear very pretentious, which is going to be awesome. You're also going to be able to speak intelligently about what the base of broadband is. And it's all down to bits and bytes. It doesn't matter what you're using over the internet, it gets down to the basic functions of bits and bytes. Whether you are looking at a character, whether you are looking at a picture, or you are using the internet for what it is truly meant to be used for, and that is streaming current or Netflix-only movies of Adam Sandler. I mean, everyone knows that that's what the internet's for, right? Okay, a bit is a basic unit of information in computing. Okay, that is the simplest form of data. It's a binary digit. It's one value, it's on or off. It's a 1 or a 0, that's it. Now let's remember, it takes 8 bits to represent one character, or one letter, or one of those little hashtag, we're talking about a letter, is 8 bits. That's a byte, okay? So it takes 8 bits to make a byte. Bits, kilobits, megabits, Google bits, you've heard them all. I've heard all types of misinterpretation of the term bits. But remember that kilobits, megabits are often used to measure transfer speed. This is how we are moving data. We are moving these individual characters. We are moving these words. We are moving Adam Sandler's greatest hit over the internet is based on bits. It can be kilobits, it can be megabits. But this is referring directly to how fast we are downloading or moving information over the internet. Now we get to bytes. We know that how many bits are in a byte? Anybody? 8. Okay, so there's 8 bits in a byte. Okay. We also know, on the other hand, that a byte is often used as a definition of storage. Your 500 megabyte hard drive or your 1 terabyte hard drive. Okay. You're like, wait a minute here. I got a bit. I got a byte. I got 8 bits in a byte, right? Right. Okay. So what's the difference? Why are we doing that? Well, it's simple. Because if there's 8 bits in a byte, and we categorize your data speeds by bits, it sounds like it's 8 times faster, right? Simple. But in fairness to communications and in fairness to communication companies, this is the standard that we use today to define how fast an internet connection is. It's by bits. Now, the cool thing is, and here's a tip that we want to remember, bits is a little b, bytes is a big B. So when you're seeing all those, this is the coffee coffee club, this is the cocktail party stuff right here, okay? The little bit, the little b is a bit, the big B is a byte. That's all you need to know. Okay, we're done, folks. We can go now. Okay, no, honestly though, that is important to remember, is the little b is the transfer of the information. That's how fast it's moving. The big B is the byte, is basically the data storage and or the information as a whole. So some other important terms that we really need to talk about a little bit as we get into the technologies are 1 kilobit, 1 megabit, and you notice at this point in time we're only talking about bits anymore. We're kind of done talking about bytes, okay? Or 1 gigabit, okay? 1 kilobit, 1,000 bits, 1 megabit, 1 million bits, 1 gigabit, 1 billion bits. You know, there's all this information out there on the internet about how you can download an HD movie in 10 seconds, and there's so many variables on that. These are kind of generic references to how data is moved. I think you get the idea that 1 kilobit, 1 megabit, 1 gigabit, as you're moving up, you're moving the data faster. How much is enough? Well, that really depends upon the application. Remember, we talked a little bit a few moments ago about how the internet's changed. Well, 20 years ago, the internet was nearly text only. It was, you know, hey, how are you doing today? Stop. Well, I'm doing fine today. Stop. Okay? Well, that's changed. We're kind of in a scenario today that everything's more graphically based. Everything is streaming based. Everything is content based. So what we're using the internet for has completely changed. I don't know about you guys, but I thought that opening session with the robot was really awesome. Frankly, I don't think I'm going back to the office ever again. So you think about how we're doing that. That's the type of applications we have on the internet today. So obviously, the data rates need to increase because we need to be able to do that kind of stuff over the internet. So that brings us to the next concept, and that's download and upload.
Download and upload. Download is the speed measured in bits that your computer receives the data. Upload is the speed that measured in bits that the computer sends the data out. So let's use that reference to the video or the robot this morning. So everything we were seeing from that individual on that little screen was what that computer was receiving. Okay, that's download. It's receiving download. Well, everything he was seeing from us, from the aspect of him being, that robot being in the Cornhusker Marriott this morning, everything that was going back to him where we were all waving at him, that was the upload. When we start talking about things like Netflix, that's really all download. I'm asking for the new Adam Sandler movie. You receive it. Most of it comes down. But when you're sending video back up towards somebody, or you're having a two-way conference, or you're interactive in any way, shape, or form, you're using as much of the upload as you are the download. This is important because we have two types of services out there today. One of them's symmetric, and one of them's asymmetric. Okay? Symmetric, by definition, is the speed is similar for both upload and download. An example, 20 by 20. 20 megabits per second down, 20 megabits per second up. You'll also have asymmetric. There's a lot of technologies that utilize asymmetric speeds. So in that example, 10 by 1, you'll have 10 megabits down, 1 megabit up. Now, there's not necessarily any reason that one won't work for something or another, but depending upon the application that you're going to be using this internet connection for, that's when it becomes important. So